Some women are simply born rich, confident, and naturally magnetic to their desires. Let's be clear, this podcast is not for them. However, if you're a soul-driven, visionary, or entrepreneurial woman who's been on a mission to learn how to create a better future bursting to come out of you, welcome to my world. I'm Jo Warwick, and this is Rich, Sexy, and Free. I've dedicated most of my career to helping women get to their core power and unlock the missing pieces for their own unique success. You may already know me as the author of The Big Book of Love. With 30 years experience in psychology, embodiment, manifesting, and energetics, we will be exploring together the keys to becoming rich, sexy, and free. So if this excites you, don't forget to like and subscribe on your favorite platforms so you can stay up to date with the podcast. Hi, and welcome to today's episode of Rich, Sexy, and Free. I'm Jo Warwick, and I'm so pleased that you're joining me today for another one of our intimate sessions, and we're continuing the amazing theme of being rich, the money aspect. This is my passion that we're falling head on into in this love affair with understanding money better on a psychological level, emotional, embodiment, energetic. And there are three aspects of money that are really important that you have to evolve and improve if you want to upgrade your wealth. And that is the money relationship, it is the money flow, and it is the money management. And we will be exploring these areas. Today, I feel really inspired to talk about that shift between cheap to quality, from quantity to quality. And I was thinking about that this week, where my attitude has changed about when and where to spend money. I love a bargain, absolutely. But fundamentally, as a projector, I am strategic, and that means I never want to waste anything. So that's still a foundation. I don't like wasting money. I don't like wasting anything. I don't want lots of clutter. But that's also because I believe in having quality over quantity. I believe that you can have quantity as well, which is delightful and wonderful. But fundamentally, I would rather have high quality things that last, because for me, that's about better standards, better value, and because that's now a reflection of who I am. There are times when I've been so poor that I would try to see if I could get my weekly shop down to 20 quid. There have been times when I have been so poor and I lived on nothing but tin tomatoes and tuna, what I call tuna splat. So tin tomatoes, tuna and pasta. I know what it is to not have enough money, but the shifts that takes you altering your wealth identity so that you can be capable to have more money means that you have to alter the material experiences that you have. And one of those ways is, for me, I absolutely love food. This is a big part of my love. I love cooking it. I love making it. And I realized that when I was always shopping to be in a way that was cost effective, I was actually reducing the quality, and that made me feel bad. The quality and standard of the shopping experience, the quality and standard of the food I was getting, and what was supposed to be in a way the same way that I see clothes, which is to have a capsule wardrobe of good quality clothes and then have little add-ons. I went through a phase that I was very much leaning further and further to buying cheap that wasn't lasting and wasn't sustaining and wasn't good. And the whole experience was making me feel poor. And I was like, there's something, what am I doing? Why has this happened? And so I was reflecting this week where I have shifted naturally and effortlessly back into a wealth identity. I've recently shopped at Marks and Spencer's, Waitrose. These are kind of the higher end supermarkets in the UK. And I realised it was about the experience. But what was also funny is that my capacity to still find bargains, I actually ended up at Waitrose on the way back from a travelling trip this week. And I thought, well, I want to get some flowers. I don't have any daffodils in the house. On the way back, I'd stopped at Hever Castle, which was full of beautiful flowers, and I love flowers. They are something that helps make me feel wealthy and happy and aligned. I love beauty, so I love art, and I need to have these things around me. Anyway, I walked in and this woman was literally pricing up everything from full bouquets that were like normally 12 quid to large bunches of special daffodils, which were or used to be priced up for a fiver. She was like, oh yeah, no, these are only 80p and these are 2 quid, and this is... I literally came out with armfuls of flowers. So much I was like barely could carry them into the house, but I was like, this is amazing. This is stuff that I adore, and now they're all in bloom and the house is full and it's absolutely gorgeous. When I'm buying food, I want to buy things that are good quality. Now that means I don't look for perfection. When I'm abroad, I always buy from fruit and veg markets, but where I am, there isn't that. So I will look to buy the wonky stuff, the stuff that hasn't been made into perfection but is actually good quality. So I will look for things that I can feel are in good quality as well. You know, things that are ripe and full of nutrients. I want that. I would rather buy small amounts of high quality gorgeousness and create something that could last a few days. Where are you approaching your life from a mentality of false money saving, which goes against a wealth identity? We always think, oh, if I have lots of money and I'll just buy anything I fancy. But the truth is, when it comes to food, that's a first shift. Unless you are dirt fucking poor, and I've been there, the truth is you can always buy well. It's about where you see yourself as value. And I truly believe things like food, things about making your home look nice, things with flowers and stuff like that, anything that really makes you feel good is worth investing in, because it is an investment. Life is for living. And if you're stating out to the world that actually the food that I put in my body is poor quality, and even if you're not a cook, you can still buy really good quality ready-made stuff compared to a cheap pot noodle. When I was in Portugal, it blew me away because I was able to buy some incredible large langoustine and they cost me like €2 and I bought like 10, which if I bought them fresh, and if I had bought them cooked or if I'd gone to a restaurant, they would have cost me like €20. I do love finding ways that it's better because I don't want false expenditure. When you're manifesting and creating, you need to change your wealth identity first. And it is always a sign and reflection of your value. So if you're valuing yourself poorly, you will buy poor. And we all know if you buy cheap shit clothes, they fall to pieces. I would rather buy pieces that doesn't mean they always have to be expensive, but pieces that I love. It's like I like to buy some pieces of jewellery that I wear all the frigging time. I do like sparkly brooches, so if you ever watch me on here, sometimes I'm wearing a sparkly brooch. I do like vintage stuff. Really, it's about thinking about on your day-to-day level, is there a way you can shift your wealth identity in the way that you're choosing? Because this is about self-value and it's about money. It's about your wealth identity because it's shifting some of that mindset, which is a big part of my program, Luxurious Living, Millionaire Mindset, about understanding what's different when you live as someone who's a millionaire. What's different when you understand what it is to experience a luxuriousness in your life? Because that is the first shift in Rich, Sexy and Free that's got to happen, that you open up to a luxuriousness, that you're not just wasting money for money's sake. Of course I'm aware of my money. I love where my money goes. I'm happy to spend, but that's the difference. I am happy to spend money in the right way. But I'm never going to be happy to spend money on things that I don't want to be, because spending itself, I remember hearing Rev Ike talk about never use the word spend. He has this thing that spend means it would be spent. But I don't agree. I do believe it's circulation. And therefore, if it's energetic, if I am using my money, spending my money, circulating my money, if I'm circulating money on something I don't like, something I'm not enjoying, something that I'm not conscious about, something that was shit, poor service, all of those things, I am going to be putting a negative energy on to the money. And therefore, it cannot come back to me multiplied. And I truly believe that money I utilize, love, adore, circulate into the economy, returns to me multiplied because I fucking loved it. And I put the energy of love out into the world. Yeah? I give quality to my money And so therefore the perception, the experience, the manifesting I have of it comes from quality, not pain, pissed offness, angry, resentment. And so which is why it's so important when paying for bills and things like that, that there's, if you can't be in love with paying for bills, find yourself a state of neutrality about it. So there's a couple of ways today to think about practical ways that you could shift some of your wealth identity to a higher frequency, because I am all about upgrading your money, your wealth experience, the process, the relationship, the flow, and the management of money. And I'm super excited. I have created something very, very special. So I've created the money map. This is something I'm gifting you as an opportunity to grab. You'll just need to go ahead to richsexyandfree.com. You can download it there. It is the Feminine Evolution Guide to upgrading your money relationships, management of money, creating financial overflow. It is the 5 stages of psychological, behavioral and spiritual financial freedom that no one wanted you to know. I am unlocking all the secrets. And this guide is a map to tell you the ways, the stages that you have to go through to move from a place of survival to sovereignty regarding the money relationship, the money flow, the management and growth of money. And it's full of transmissions, so activating transmissions. So if you like the podcast, it's going to give like mini little insights around each aspect to move you forward. So the how is in there, the reason why you're not having the money that you want, the wealth that you want. It will show you the stage that you're at to unlock that and understand it, and then the ways of how to improve it, how I can help you, ways to work with me, etc. Of course. Very exciting. And as a final roundup, just to remind you, if you ever want to reach out, just head over to richsexyandfree.com to the links and everything is there. Whatever your platform is, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and now TikTok. Whoop, whoop.
It's been great to connect with you today, but before you leave, if you want to find out more about how I can help you personally or check out any of my books, products, or coaching packages, just simply go ahead and visit richsexyandfree.com. And I look forward to seeing you next week on the podcast.